This question is a medium difficulty GMAT data sufficiency sample question. Classify this one as a 650 level GMAT practice question from inequalities. Focuses on the concept of inequalities and exponents. Before we delve into the question and the statements, let's just spend 1 minute on one very key idea that is tested in this question. This question, as you look at it, is comparing two different powers of a number a. How will it be? Is it always going to be a cube greater than a square along the entire spectrum of the number line from minus infinity to plus infinity? Or will a cube be less than a square sometimes, be equal to a square sometimes? It could have all three possibilities. A cube could be greater than a square, a cube could be lesser than a square, a cube could be equal to a square, depending upon what values a takes. It is not like what values of a takes, you don't need to think about infinite possibilities. There are only 4 ranges to contend with. Between minus infinity and minus 1, it behaves one way. Between minus 1 and 0, the behavior could be different. Between 0 and 1, it could behave one way. And from 1 to infinity, it is going to behave one way. So any evaluation that we have to do, check out for a greater than 1, a between 0 and 1, a between minus 1 and 0, a less than minus 1. And possibly also contend with the values when a is equal to a minus 1, a is equal to a 0, and a is equal to 1. For example, when a equals 1, a cube will be equal to a square. When a equals 0, a cube will be equal to a square. So 4 ranges of values to keep in mind. Minus infinity to minus 1, minus 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to infinity. We're anyway going to evaluate it only keeping this in mind. So I won't even test for will it behave differently between when a is equal to a 2 and when a is equal to 10. Will it behave the same way or will it behave differently? It will behave exactly the same way because anything greater than 1, the behavior is going to be 1. So this idea, keep it in mind when we're evaluating this question. Let's quickly run through the question. Is a cube greater than a square? It's an is question. By now we are familiar that if it's an is question, the answer is going to be an yes or a no for any B verb question. That's what the answer is. When is the data sufficient? When we get a definite yes or a definite no as an answer. So let's spend half a minute on when the answer is yes. The answer to the question is an yes when a cube is greater than a square. When is the answer no? The answer is no for 2 possibilities. A cube is less than a square and the possibility that a cube is equal to a square. Don't forget this equal to possibility for a no. So no has 2 possibilities. Yes has got 1 possibility. If you get a conclusive, a definite yes or a definite no, the data is sufficient. The data is not sufficient when we say sometimes yes and sometimes no. They're saying both possibilities exist. There is no conclusive answer, which is when the data is not sufficient. So we know what kind of an answer this question will fetch. When is it sufficient? When is it not sufficient? When is the answer going to be yes? When is the answer going to be no? So understood everything at the question stem level. Let's delve into statement 1. Statement 1 tells us that 1 by a is greater than a. A cannot be a 0 because 1 upon 0 is not defined in the real number space. So we don't even have to contend with the possibility of a being 0. So a not equal to 0 is a given. So there are 2 possibilities. A could be positive, a could be negative. I'm going to start with the possibility of a being positive. What will be the answer to this question? If it satisfies the information that 1 by a is greater than a. A is positive. As I had mentioned at the start of this video, there are 2 ranges of values to keep in mind. A could lie between 0 and 1. A could be a value greater than 1. These are the only 2 things of consequence to us. Even a equals 1 is of no consequence because when a is equal to 1, 1 by 1 will be equal to 1. 1 upon a is not going to be greater than a. So only these 2 values to keep in mind. Let's start with the case of a lying between 0 and 1. Take a is equal to half. Let's check out what happens. A is equal to half. 1 by half, is it greater than half? 1 by half is equal to 2. 2 is greater than half. So if a lies between 0 and 1, 1 upon a will be greater than a. So it is satisfied. So if a is positive, that's the first possibility. If this information is true, I know that a lies between 0 and 1. Let me check out whether this condition will hold good for a greater than 1 as well. If a is greater than 1, let's go with a is equal to 2. 1 by a is half. A is equal to 2. 1 by a is not greater than a. So for values of a greater than 1, this condition is not satisfied. So what we have here, is that if a is positive and 1 by a is greater than a, that will hold good only when a lies between 0 and 1. When a lies between 0 and 1, let's check out whether a cube is greater than a square. That's a question we are trying to answer. Go with again a is equal to half. Half cube is equal to 1 by 8. Half square is a square. That is equal to 1 by 4. 1 by 8 is less than 1 by 4, which means a cube is less than a square. If a cube is less than a square, what's the answer to our question? The answer to our question is a no. So for values of a greater than 0, 1 upon a will be greater than a only when a lies between 0 and 1. For values of a lying between 0 and 1, a cube is less than a square. The answer to the question is a no. Let's look at the second possibility of a being a negative number. Let's not even bother when will 1 by a be greater than a. Why I am not bothering about it? Not bothering about it because we are comparing a cube with a square, and you said we are evaluating for the possibility of a being negative. So wherever it is satisfied, a is still going to be a negative number. So you're cubing the negative number when you're finding out a cube, and you're squaring the negative number when you're finding out a square. Cube of a negative number is negative. Odd powers of negative numbers are negative. Square of a negative number is positive. Irrespective of the magnitude, a negative number is going to be lesser than a positive number, which means we get the answer that a cube is less than a square. So what's the answer to our question? Is a cube greater than a square? The answer is a no. So if 1 upon a is greater than a, we realize there are two possibilities. A could be positive, a could be negative. We've got a definite no in both possibilities. So statement 1 is giving us a conclusive answer. Statement 1 alone is therefore sufficient. If statement 1 alone is sufficient, answer option is going to be either A or D. Let's evaluate statement 2 as well to decide whether it is A or D. If 2 is also sufficient, we'll go with D. If 2 is not sufficient, we'll go with A. But before evaluating statement 2, let's quickly summarize the findings of statement 1 in a printed form. 1 upon A is greater than A. A could be positive. When will it work? It's going to work for values of A lying between 0 and 1. In that range, A cube is less than A square. The answer to our question is a no. There is a second possibility that A could be negative. When A is negative, we don't even have to bother about when this condition will be satisfied, because the cube of A is going to be a negative number, square of A is going to be a positive number. So for any negative value of A cube will be less than A square. The answer to our question is a no for negative values of A. Positive values of A, this condition holds good only in this interval, and in that interval we got no as an answer. Negative values of A, we comfortably did not even bother to find out where this condition will hold good, because we know that wherever it holds good, the value of A is going to be negative. When A is negative, cube of A will be less than square of A. Conclusive no as an answer using statement 1. 1 alone is sufficient. Eliminate answer options B, C and D. We are down to A or D. Let's evaluate statement 2. Statement 2 tells us that A power 5 is greater than A cube. Obviously, two values I can eliminate. Essentially, I can say A is not equal to 0, A is not equal to 1, A is not equal to minus 1 also. These three values can be eliminated. Again, A could be positive, A could be negative. I am starting with the first possibility that A is greater than 0. A is greater than 0. We know two ranges of values to look at. A lies between 0 and 1. A is greater than 1. Let's check with half in this range. Is half power 5 greater than half cube? Certainly not. Half power 5 is a 1 by 32. This is 1 by 8. 1 by 32 is less than 1 by 8. So half power 5 is less than half power 3. And A power 5 is less than A cube in this interval. Whereas the statement says that A power 5 is greater than A cube, which means that A does not lie between 0 and 1. Let's check out what happens when A is greater than 1. Take A is equal to a 2. 2 power 5 is a 32. 2 cube is an 8. 32 is greater than 8. So in this interval, A power 5 is greater than A cube. So if A is positive and A power 5 is greater than A cube, then we can deduce that A is a number which is greater than 1. If A is greater than 1, is A cube greater than A square? Go with the same 2. A cube is equal to an 8. A square is a 4. 8 is greater than 4. So A cube is greater than A square. So if A is positive, wherever this condition holds good when A is greater than 1. When A is greater than 1, A cube will be greater than A square. Answer to our question is an yes. Let's look at the second possibility of A being negative. Again, I'm not going to even waste time trying to figure out when will A power 5 be greater than A cube when A is negative. When A is negative, A cube is going to be a negative number. We had discussed it with statement 1. A square is going to be a positive number. Negative numbers are lesser than positive numbers, which means A cube is less than A square. The question is A cube greater than A square? The answer now is a no. Possibility 1, when A is positive, we got yes as the answer. Possibility 2, when A is negative, got no as an answer. So statement 2 is not giving us a conclusive answer. So knowing that a power 5 is greater than a cube is not going to help us determine whether a cube is greater than a square. So statement 2 alone is not sufficient. At the end of evaluating statement 1, we were down to a or d. 2 is not sufficient, so let's rule out answer option D. Choice A is the answer to the question. Summarize it in a printed form. We're looking for positive values. Positive values, a power 5 will be greater than a cube, won't even a is greater than 1. When a is greater than 1, a cube is greater than a square. The answer to the question is then S. For negative values, these are the ranges where it will work. Don't even bother investing time to find that out. The negative cube is going to be a negative number. Negative square is going to be a positive number because odd powers of negative numbers are negative, even powers of negative numbers are positive. So here we get a cube is less than a square, which means the answer to the question is a no. In this case, answer is yes. In this case, answer is no. Statement 2 is giving us divergent answer. It's not giving us a conclusive answer. 2 alone is not sufficient. 1 was sufficient. So between answer options A and D, let's eliminate answer option D. Get down to answer option A. A is the correct answer to this question. Before you leave, I want you to do two things. Sign up as a trial user at the URL given there, wzko.in/core. It's the most comprehensive and affordable online GMAT course available on the web, available through an iOS app, available through Android. Right? Start with the free topic, statistics and averages. It will take you about 6 to 8 hours to gather momentum into your GMAT quant preparation and also to understand how our teaching methodology works. If you find the teaching methodology helping you, pay and unlock the remaining 19 topics in 8 modules behind the paywall. Secondly, before you leave, subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/Vizako, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay motivated.